Shalom Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash, double honors to the elders of GMS who taught us this truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Salutation to you, Akim out there, you brothers that's pushing this word and truth and sincerity, risking your freedom and life to do so. Okay, I've been meaning to do a video about this for a while now. This, as you can see in the title, from sunnyskies.com, I'm going to read you two articles concerning a 1,500-year-old Bible found in Turkey is stirring up controversy about Christianity, right? Because the reason why it stirs up controversy is because people like to believe that the Bible is fairy tale and that this book was just made up and it's never really been around. But the Bible's been around for a very, very long time. First, it was the scroll. It was scrolls. It was a roll of paper. And then later, the scroll was compacted into, well, there was different scrolls for each book. For instance, there was a scroll of Isaiah. There was the scroll of the 5 books of Moses. And then later on, after, Israel got scattered to the nations and the languages changed, King James, being an Israelite himself, a so-called black man, out of England, out of England, translated the Bible and compacted it and made it the 1611 King James Version, which is translated by his scholars, which translated all books of the Bible from Hebrew in the Old Testament and Greek in the New Testament to English, Spanish, Latin, so on and so forth. Okay, so the Bible has always been around. The Bible is a true book, and the Bible is for the children of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So without further ado, let's get into this article. It says the relic was rediscovered in Qumran Justice Palace and believed to be written in Syriac, a dialect of the native language of Jesus, which we know that the Lord Yahweh Shah was a Hebrew from Hebrew Israelite nation. Hebrew being the language, Israelite being the lineage of his nationality or his nation, which he came from. Okay, so he was a Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew. The Bible was already in custody of Turkish authorities after having seized in 2000 in an operation in the Mediterranean area of Turkey. Okay, I forget where Turkey is biblically, but I forgot what ancient Turkey was. And it says the gang of smugglers have been charged with smuggling antiquities, meaning ancient artifacts, illegal excavations meaning like skulls and sculptures, and the possession of explosives. Turkish police testified in a court hearing that they believe the manuscript is about 15 to 2,000 years old. Okay, so this book you see right here is a 15 to 2,000-year-old Bible, leather Bible. Okay, so we're going to scroll down. And it says the controversy. Salakia, let me just read this. It says the copy of the ancient Bible is valued as high as 40 million Turkish liras, which translate to $28 million US. Okay, so if the Bible wasn't a true and only living book, why would this Bible be worth $28 million? Okay, a book that could be reprinted. Is because it's not the book, but what's in the book, the importance of the book. Why? Because these are the words of God himself written amongst us. Okay, so it says, much to the dismay of the Vatican, an approximately 15 to 2,000-year-old Bible was found in Turkey in the Ethnography Museum of Ankara. Discovered and kept secret in the year 2000, the book contains the Gospel of Barnabas, a disciple of Christ, which is named Mashiach, which shows that Yahweh Shah, or Jesus, was not crucified, nor was he a son of God, but a prophet. The book also calls Apostle Paul the impostor. The book also claims that Yahweh Shah ascended to heaven alive, and that Judas Iscariot was crucified in his place. It is believed that during the Council of Nicaea, the Catholic Church handed the gospel that formed the Bible as we know it today, omitting the gospel of Barnabas among many others in favor of the four Canicola, Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Many biblical texts have begun to surface over time, including those of the Dead Sea Scroll and Gnostic Gospel, but this book especially seems to worry the Vatican. There has been no other confirmation that the information about Jesus is this version of the Bible is true. The story is beginning to get national attention, so stay tuned. Right now, that's false. That's false. Okay, everything they said there was a lie. So we're just gonna scroll down. This is the same thing. Police found historical leather-bound Bible during road checks in Turkey's Aksaray. Okay, and as you can see, it looks like some form of Hebrew or Arabic writing. Okay, you got to remember how people were scattered, so a lot of the translations was in the land that they were currently in. But the important thing I wanted to get was this picture here. Now, this picture is supposed to be at the front cover of the Bible. Now, as you can see here, is a dark-skinned man with a book in his hand and a robe, a huge garment going down. The chairs are painted in gold, and you have a cross, which looks like a cross, a symbol of a cross, a man with a crown, and as you can see, it's a halo behind it. His hair on his eyebrows, the hair on his head, and the hair on his face is white, pure white. Okay, he's very, very dark-skinned man. You can't make out his eyes, but as you can see, this would be a depiction of how the Heavenly Father looked, the King of Kings. Okay, and we're gonna get that because this has relevance of the actual description of who God is and who people don't understand who the God of Israel is. Okay, this is Daniel 7 verse 9. So this is Daniel. He said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days that sit. Now the thrones are the nations. All the kings that were supposed to take power on the earth until the end time, which is up until the fourth beast, which is Rome, or modern day Rome, which is America. So the thrones were cast down, meaning they were taken out of power, and the Ancient of Days to sit. Now the Ancient of Days right here is talking about the Heavenly Father, because he's older than time itself. He's ancient. He's older than days. Okay, he's Ancient of Days, so he's older than time itself. Whose garment was white as snow. Okay, his garment was white as snow. As you can see here, his garment, the Lord's garment is not white as snow, but we're gonna read further. And the hair of his head was like the pure wool. Was like the hair of his head was like the pure wool. His dome was like the fiery flame, and his wheels like the burning fire. I was talking about UFOs, but his hair is like the pure wool. Now we know wool. Let's look up the sheep. That's how the Lord's hair was like. Let's see. See, like this. Exactly like this. That's what the scriptures describing the Lord as having hair like the pure wool. Okay, as you can see, I type black man woolly hair. So it's not something I'm making up. You see? This is wool. This is wool. And funny because he played in a movie, I believe it was um, Bruce Almighty, something like that, where it's supposed to be like a funny depiction of God being black, which the Bible says he is. You see, like this, something like this, the pure wool. Um, so we're gonna jump back. So as you can see, his head and his beard is white and woolly, like an afro. This is Revelations 1, verse 13. In the midst of the seven kings, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girded about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. As you can see here, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. Now this could be the image of who the world calls Jesus, but this is a biblical depiction of him. and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass if they burnt in a furnace. Okay? And then you burn anything to a furnace, what do they look like? Charcoal. Charcoal. Black. Really, really dark skin. Okay? Um, something along the lines of this, not hate to use this example, but his skin was very, very dark, like this man right here. Okay? Very, very dark skin, very, very dark skin. Okay? And the voices sound like many waters. Okay, so yeah, man, this is found in an ancient 1500 to 2000 year old Bible. It says, this is Revelations 12 and 16, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Okay, when it said the earth helped the woman, it's because Esau, that's talking about Esau, the so-called white man, tried to hide relics and ancient artifacts to further help us identify who we were or who we are. So the earth, which means nature, and certain relics and artifacts are sprung up to help the woman, which is Israel, find these things so we could wake up. So it said the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, meaning the flood of lies was the dragon cast out of his mouth. Okay? So the dragon cast lies out of his mouth, but the earth, or ancient relics, was brought up to help us to identify who we were. Okay? This is Jeremiah 8, verse 1. At that time saith the Lord, how they shall bring out the bones of the king of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of his priests, and the bones of his prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their grave. Right. And that's symbolizing digging up these artifacts. So why would a 15-year old to 2,000-year-old Bible not only be worth how much? It said $28 million, but on the front cover, not the front cover, but the second page of the front cover is a picture of a black man holding a Bible with a crown on his head and a halo around him. Why? Because that's how God and his son looks. You see? Because we are the children of Israel. So that was a quick lesson. Before I forget, let's get ruddy. Ruddy. It says, so ruddy. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm sorry, guys. Let's back up. This is from in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. Ruddy is defined as a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, you see? So, that's what it is, man. The truth is coming out finally. But brothers, stay prayed up. May the Lord be with y'all, along with me. Giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Wakakadas. Till next time, shalom.